This video is brought to you by Sim Racing Center. Today, we are going to be showing you the fastest way around the Jeddah Corniche Circuit. This track is so fast, so flowing, but very difficult to get right. So let's watch the hot lap and see what is going on. Braking down on the 100-meter board, then taking a lot of curb on the left, but avoid the sausage curb on the inside. Curb on the right as well, and get as close to the wall as you possibly dare on the left-hand side. Into turn 4, braking just before the 50-meter board. Cut the corner a little bit. Get close to the wall, but not too close. Now keep it in 6th all the way through this section, up into 7th ever so slightly, and then again back down into 6th as you go through the left and the right, then the left again, and just use all of the track to your advantage. Don't worry if that was too fast for you. We'll go back later on and break that down even further. Dropping down into 4th now for this sort of banked left-hand hairpin corner. Hard to get on the traction as you get on the power as it still continues to curve around through the right, then the left. Braking again just before the 50-meter board. Get it through the right, then the left. It's so fast, so flowing. Very difficult to break down a lap round here, but don't worry, we're going to go through it a little bit slower later on. DRS open, and again, winding through this section all the way. It's completely flat out. Don't have to worry too much, but then hard on the brakes, into the left. Get as close to the walls as you possibly can, both on the inside of the left, then on the exit on the right-hand side, and really hug the left-hand barrier all the way through this long flat out section. Get the car back over to the right for the braking zone. Get close to the wall once again on the inside and also on the exit, all the way down the throttle. DRS open, and that is a lap around this circuit. Oh my days, I need to take a breather because that was absolutely incredible. But we don't have time for that, because now we're going to be breaking down this lap even more. So as you can see here, the 100-meter board in the top right hand corner of your screens, we're going to be braking literally at that marker. So hard on the brakes from 8th gear, dropping yourselves all the way down into 3rd. Again, avoid the sausage on the left and take as much curb as you can on the right, but don't take too much. Don't be too greedy around here, otherwise it will bottom out the car. Again, into turn 4, braking, I'd say in between the 50 and the 100, maybe slightly closer to the 50-meter board. Then you're arriving at 7th gear, braking down into 5th here, and get really close to the entry of the corner. In 6th, up into 7th momentarily, and then back down into 6th. Little lift through the couple of corners there, and as you can see, just taking as much of the track as you can possibly get away with. Don't cross that white line, but get as close as you possibly can to it while still being in track limits. Next braking point is going to be just after the 50-meter board into this next one. You're arriving at 8th gear. You want to be dropping it down through the gears, but because it's banked, you can carry a bit more speed through the corner. Hug it tight and then allow the car to naturally flow over to the right-hand side as you get on the throttle. Don't get on it too early, though, otherwise you will spin out. Braking again, this time on just before the 50-meter board. Get the car over to the left-hand side. Use that extra bit of track. Get as close to the wall as you want to. Arriving again at 8th gear, and then get it tight on the entry against the wall in 5th. Don't take too much curb on the left, otherwise it's going to sort of bottom out the car and throw you out to the wall on the right. You want to be very careful about that. DRS open, flat out all the way through here. Now hug this right-hander, and you want to spot your braking point. It's very difficult around here. As soon as that 50-meter board becomes visible as you're coming around the corner, a little dab of brake, not too much, and again, don't be greedy with the curb on the inside. That one is lethal. You will bottom out the car and you will spin out. So just ride it with your tires, but don't go fully over the curb with the car. Now again, keep it left, get over to the right, braking just after the 100-meter board, before that sort of light box that you can kind of see just ahead of you. Braking from 8th gear, heading down into 4th, and then get really tight on the entry of the apex there, up against the wall, and also on the exit, and then hard on the throttle, DRS open, down towards the line, and that is a lap of Saudi Arabia. Now, before we get into the setup, let's talk a little bit about today's sponsor, Sim Racing Center. Sim Racing Center offers the best and latest F1 22 league racing setups to make sure your car is running as fast as it can. Combined with the race preparations they sell, which shows tire data, the best strategy, and a lot more to ensure you will slap the competition and be on top of your game. With these products, all you need to do is focus on your driving. If that's something you struggle with, though, get a one-to-one coaching session with esports or esport academy drivers. Sim Racing Center also offers race engineers like you have seen on the League Racing series that I run on this channel who will help you live during the race with your best strategy. Now, this is a company that I use for all of my setups. When it comes to setting up the car, I'm absolutely clueless. So these guys point me in the right direction to go as fast as I possibly can. And if you want to stay up to date with the best setups, make sure you use the code Hayden at checkout for 10% off. Let's take a look at the setup that is going to make you go quicker around this circuit then. Starting first of all with the wings. We're going 17 on the front wing aero, 15 on the rear. Of course, it's very fast, very flowing. You want low wings to keep the drag minimal, but you still want a little bit to get you through those corners, because otherwise you're just going to go into the barriers, understeer, oversteer. It's going to be difficult to get through those corners if you don't have the correct wings. So 17, 15 is what is comfortable going through those corners, but gives you enough power, enough oomph down the straight. So it's a good setting to go for. For the differential on and off, this is slightly different to Bahrain. Bahrain was like 70-50. Here we're going 50-50 completely. Moving on to the suspension geometry. Again, bit different from Bahrain. Bahrain was right, left, left, left. This one we're going right, right, left, left. And when I say right, right, I just mean pushing the bars all the way to the right. 2.5, minus 2.5, minus 1, and then 0.05, 0.20 on the camber and toe there. On the suspension, we're going 1 free, 1 free, 3, 4. So they're, you know, slightly low on the suspension. And then in terms of brakes, 100% brake pressure, 50% front brake bias is the same, I think, pretty much throughout most of the circuits on the calendar. And again, very similar with the tire pressures, 23.8 on the fronts and 23.0 the maximum on the rear tires. Thank you very much to Sim Racing Center for sending us over the hot laps and of course the setup as well. Make sure you check them out in the link in the description and use the code Hayden for 10% off the store. Also subscribe to the channel for more content just like this. Until next time though, it's goodbye from me.